we are going to see the mathematical functions in JavaScript. If you are given a mathematical equation and if you are asked to write code in JavaScript to solve that equation, and that too if that equation has some trigonometric functions in it and some x to the power of y and some square root, all these things are there in that mathematical function, we need not worry, because in JavaScript we have so many mathematical functions. You might have studied in C language some mathematical functions like sine, cos, tan, or sqrt, square root. Like that, in JavaScript also we have so many mathematical functions. Of course, we are not going to look at all those functions in this session. We are going to see only a few mathematical functions. So how to calculate x to the power of y and how to find out the square root of a given number. Like that, we are going to see some mathematical functions. Now we see some mathematical functions in JavaScript. Here almost all the mathematical functions of JavaScript are accessed with a built-in object called math. Now math is a built-in object, so it's already an existing object. We know that objects have properties and methods. So this math object, a built-in object, has some properties as well as methods. All the properties and all the methods of this math object are static. I think you know the importance of this static keyword. So it means all the methods and properties of this math object can be used without creating a math object. So the advantage of static is we need not create an object, but straight away you can use the properties and methods by using this math, capital M-A-T-H, math. Now a constant or some property of this math object can be accessed by writing like this: math dot some constant or math dot some property. And along with the properties we also have methods. So those methods can be accessed like this: math dot method. Remember, this M should be a capital letter. Now there are many properties in the math object. Here we are going to look at only three properties. So math dot pi, so this value is 3.1415, something like this. There is one more property called math dot ln10, a natural logarithm of 10. Now this value is equal to this one. Now there is one more property, math dot sqrt2, so which is square root of 2. We know that square root of 2 value is like this, and many more properties are there. And have you observed all these constants are written with capital letters? Let us try to print this value, math dot pi. Now here I want to write this JavaScript program here. Then parallelly we can compile and run this program here on the browser. I'm using Google Chrome as a browser to execute our JavaScript programs. You need not worry about this code. Just I want to print the output of the mathematical functions in red color. That's why I wrote style is equal to color colon red. Now I want to print the pi value. So what I write is document dot write math dot pi. Remember, this pi should be capitals and m should be a capital letter. I just save this program and execute it. Now this is the value of pi. Similarly, you can use the remaining properties or constants of this math object. Now we see certain methods of this math object. The first method is POW. So we know POW means power. So math dot power. So this method POW x comma y, we need to pass two arguments. One is x comma y, second one is y. This method returns the value of x to the power of y. Now what happens? X to the power of y. Math dot POW of 8 comma 2. So this is x, this is y. What happens? X to the power of y. So 8 square. This method returns the value of 8 square. 8 to the power of 2. Now 8 square is 64. Now let us try to compile and run this program by using this POW. I want to use math dot POW power of 8 comma 2. One more parenthesis is required. Now save this and execute it. Now the value is 64. So we can also give a negative number here. So what happens if I give 8 comma minus 2? What happens is this becomes 8 to the power of minus 2. Meaning is 1 by 8 square, which is 1 by 64. Now what is the value of 1 by 64? Now this is the value of 1 by 64. 8 to the power of minus 2. So in this way we can get the power of any number. We look at some other method. Second one is SQRT or square root function. So we know SQRT returns the square root of some value. So how should we write? Math dot SQRT of 64. Now square root of 64 is 8. Now compile this program. Math dot SQRT of some 64. Compile this, run this. Now 8 is the answer. Square root of any number we can get here. One more method, ABS, math dot ABS. So it returns the absolute value or positive value of a certain number x. Math dot ABS of minus 4.7. So it returns the positive value of minus 4.7, which is 4.7. So in this way, if we want to get the positive value of a given number, then we can use this method called ABS. Now run this program. Math dot ABS of minus 64. Now save this and run this. So here the absolute value of minus 64 or the positive value of minus 64 is 64. What happens if I give a positive number called 54? Then 54 will be printed. So because the positive value of 54 already it is a positive number, then positive value of 54 is 54. Now we look at one more method. Sign, SIGN, sign method. This method returns the sign of the value x. Whether x is positive number or negative number or 0, we can easily find out by using this sign method. Now if you write like this, math dot sign of minus 4, since it is a negative number, it returns minus 1. So let us try to execute this one. Sign of minus 4. Now save this and then run this. So minus 1, it is a negative number. If you give a positive value, then it is plus 1. So this is about the sign method. Next method is a round method. Math.round of x. We need to pass one argument x and it returns the value of x rounded to its next nearest integer. So the nearest integer of 4.7 is 5 and the nearest integer of 4.4 is just 4. So if this value is greater than or equal to 4.5, then the nearest integer will be 5. If it is less than 4.5, like 4.4, then it returns 4. We can also give negative numbers here, then even in that case also it rounds to its nearest integer. Now let us write a small code with this round method. Now math dot round of 4.6. If I write 4.6, the nearest integer is 5 because this value is greater than or equal to 4.5. It crossed 4.5. Now 5 is the answer. If this value is 4.1, now the answer is just 4. Let's also try for 4.5. Now it should give 5 as 5. Round method, it rounds the number to nearest integer. Next we see one more method, seal. There are two methods, one is seal and the second one is floor. This seal method, like sealing, it returns the value of x rounded up to its nearest integer. Now there is a difference between round and seal. In round, the previous method round, if the value is 4.4, it is returning 4. So the nearest integer is 4. But now with seal, it's not like that. So it rounds the number to its next integer. So 4.4, it becomes 5. Now let's see a small example, seal, with seal, C-E-I-L, seal 4.1, 4.1. Now the output is 5. So if I write 5.2, now the output is 6. Sealing, it is rounding this number to the next integer. Even though this value is less than or equal to 5.5, but still we are getting the answer 6. The next method is floor. This floor method returns the value x rounded down to its nearest integer. So flooring, the previous method is like sealing, this is like flooring. Floor 4.7, so it returns 4 even though this value is greater than 4.5, but still floor, it rounds down to its nearest integer, so it becomes 4. Seal is over. Now floor, so floor of 5.2, it is 5. Floor of 5.9, still it is 5. So flooring means rounding to the next integer, and at the same time it rounds down to its the nearest integer. Next method is truncation method, trunc, TRUNC. This method returns the integer part of a number. So 4.7, the integer part is 4. After the decimal point we have 7, but it returns only the integer part. 4 will be the output. Math.trunc, truncate. We'll keep the same number 5.7 or 5.9. The answer is 5. If I give here 7.1, it truncates to 7. So only the integer part of that number is displayed. Now these are four different methods. Now just we try to compare these methods: floor, seal, round and truncation. Now if you take a number 4.1, flooring, so it returns 4. Next seal, ceiling, so 5, it returns the next integer 5. Now rounding, it rounds to the next round to the nearest integer called 4, because this value is not greater than 4.5, right? So 4.1 rounding. Truncation, we know that it returns only the integer part. Next, number 4.6, floor, whatever the value may be, floor, it rounds down the number. Ceiling, it rounds up the number. Then rounding, since this value is greater than or equal to 4.5, it rounds to the next integer. Now once again truncation, it only displays the integer part. Similarly for negative numbers also, minus 1.1, if you truncate, then what happens? Only minus 1 will be printed. Then we see one more method. The next method is a random method. This method, random method, it returns a random number between 0 and 1. Inclusive means 0 is included, 1 is not included. So less than 1, 0 to 1, we get all the random numbers. So the syntax is math.random. We need not pass any arguments to this random method. Now let us try to execute this program. Math.random. Now execute. So this is a random number, 0 to 1. In between 0 to 1 we get random numbers. So now refresh it again, and random number is changed. Again refresh, it is changed. So in this way random numbers will be generated. These random numbers, have you observed, 0 to 1, in between 0 and 1 we are getting the answers. But for example, if I want to print some random numbers in between 0 and 100, how should I write code? Generally in many programming languages we want to generate random numbers. For example, 0, in between 0 and 100, random numbers. Now what I should do is I should multiply whatever I am getting with 100. Now what happens is, yes, 31 point something, again 2 point something, refresh, 50 point something, 96 point something, yes, less than 100 I am getting. And at the same time we want to remove this part after the decimal part. We can remove this. So just now we discussed seal, floor, so we can use any of those methods. Math.cal, yes, one parenthesis is for document.write and the second one is for math.seal. So math.random returns the random numbers in between 0 and 1 multiplied by 100, and at the same time to remove this part. We are writing math dot seal. Now save this, refresh. Yes, 61, refresh 21, again refresh 18, refresh 29, refresh 100. So in this way we will get random numbers. So you might have observed just now we got 100. Why? Because 99 point something, right? 99 point something, and at the same time we are using the method seal, CEIL. So the sealing of 99 point something is 100. Now there are two methods, math.min and math.max. These two methods are used to find out the lowest value. If we use math.min, and if you give number of arguments, it returns the lowest number, which is minus 200, and this math.max, it returns the highest number. Let us also execute these two methods. Math.min, we need to pass some arguments, 4 comma 1 comma 8 comma 2. So the minimum number is 1. Yeah, the minimum number is 1. If I write max, sorry, max, the output is 8. Among these four numbers, 8 is the maximum number. Now these are the methods we discussed in this session. Math dot, round, power, square root, absolute value, sign, sealing, flooring, truncation and random, and finally min and max. Of course there are many other methods, mathematical functions in JavaScript. Go through them and you can execute those programs. If you practice those programs, then you can easily remember those things to write in the exams. Okay, thank you. God bless you.